there going like, wait, what? Like, hi, welcome everyone. And this is
Howdy
how we
do.
roll.
Let's
Um,
Wednesday it up.
Yeah, right? Oh my
Word.
God. Sorry, I just got a notification and I'm like, it'll be fine. It'll be
That's
fine.
right. Mhm.
Anyways, okay, I have a question for you guys. And I was like sitting here thinking this whole weekend, I was like, yep, let's talk about it. What is your opinion and thoughts and feelings and all of the things on the new era of humanity that we have embarked on and will continue to go on to? And I think it kind of aligns with a lot of the conversations we've been having. Don't mind my appendage. And I was just kind of wondering what you guys kind of thought about where this is at and where we're going. Hi, Raquel.
Hi, Raquel.
Hi, how are you? Good to see you.
Good to see you.
Thank
Blue
you.
light. Give me that
Broad.
blue light.
Yes, blue light. Yes, love your hair. Wendy, love
Thank
your
you.
Hello. Just because that is a broad topic.
I know.
The
Yeah.
era of humanity. When would you say that we actually embarked on it? Have we embarked on it like hundreds of millions of years ago, or was that like 2012? Like there are many layers to this ring of trees.
What is the definition of new era of humanity?
Oh, I have decided it. So
Okay.
yeah, don't worry. Don't worry. This is me. Okay, so think about it this way. Humanity went through the Industrial Revolution, right? And we evolved and we upgraded and we had all these new experiences, these new ways of manufacturing, making life easier, creating and she's going back to sleep. And all these things. And when we went through that, we had all these amazing opportunities and experiences. And at the same time, humanity as a society had to evolve, right? That's when we ended up having unions come into play. The structure of like businesses changed because in order to get employees, they started adding like benefits like insurance and bonuses and, whatever. They actually pretended that they cared about the people. And so like when you look at, come on. Some did. I'm not going to say they all didn't, but they were like in a competitive market because now they were looking for this trade, this skill, right? And then the next evolution we kind of went through that was more recent was, I shouldn't say more recent, but in our lifetime, was on technology, right? And we entered into this technological era, and now we're in this AI era. And so when you think about these different eras and how they changed, right? We went from labor skills and the competitive market at that time and the way our society was built was around your ability to create with your hands and your physical abilities. Then the next stage was the mental abilities and being able to work with technology. And that skill that became competitive was this ability to think strategically. And now, being holistic beings, we're moving into a more holistic space that is more of a system versus a strategy and linear thought. And you see that coming out in things like AI, and you see that coming out in us experiencing more of the inner human experience. And that's becoming more of the commodity. Slight, it's new and being born, but people are coming around to that. And that's like this new era we're coming in where language is changing, enlightenment is changing, your intuition, the way you approach people. It's this more systems, holistic thinking. And it's not very common for people to have it. But as we go into this era, it's going to change and impact society in business and in what we see business do to the world and our society, and how it allows us to interact and elevate into our next era of humanity. Yeah, these are the things I think about.
Couple little light things, little things just to
Yeah.
help us sleep at
Yeah.
night.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It's interesting. What immediately comes to mind is that we're with AI, the zeitgeist that AI is, we'll return to a time, an era of systems and service. Like technology can only take us so far, and humanity still has certain core needs. And so I almost think that this era of technology, as big as it is, actually returns us to the simplicity of understanding what services, what basic needs must be met, and how are we going to address those basic needs.
For instance.
So you're saying, what's your definition of basic needs?
We need food, we need shelter, we need jobs, we need a means of being able to take care of ourselves. We need, sorry, I'm trying to track the light here. I'm suddenly shrouded in darkness.
But not
We
your
need-
soul. Yeah.
But not my soul. My soul is always a bright light. Recognize. Okay, so we need we need communication. We need, like, technology has created, one of the side effects of technology is it has created a world of isolation, right? We have what I would call false tech connectivity through technology, through social media, but we're sitting at home alone without interpersonal communication in our day-to-day lives, unless you are living with your family. But it used to be that families like lived in one home together, right? Multi generations of families. But now everyone is in their separate space, or even if you're experiencing multi generational living, it's all about, well, they have their own, building. They have their ADU. They're in their separate part of the house. We never have to see each other. We communicate through Messenger or WhatsApp, even though we're under the same roof. There's this isolation that has occurred. So, we need a means of coming back together in community, in interpersonal communication, and combining resources to solve problems, not feeling so alone. We need to figure out, how are we going to create food that's good food, that's not coming out of a package that's been genetically altered or chemically altered before it reaches us. And that can only occur because of how our systems are, because of not just the distribution systems or growing systems, but also our legal systems. Because of that, we are going to have to return to a space where we come together in small communities and figure out, how can we grow food? Because one person can't just grow all the food, right? It's like the community has to come together to make sure that the local farming happens, and is protected from, chemical sprays and all of these other things, so that that local community can have good food. Like, this is just a very simple, basic human need. With quality food, there's less illness. So let's talk about healthcare and the need to be well and get quality education on how to eat properly, how to take care of myself, what's the right amount of exercise, what medicine is good, or what medicine comes with the extreme side effects that are, can create more other problems. Like, getting this education and quality education is a basic need, I think, for us to be healthy, for us to take care of our families, that are our priorities, to make sure that they're healthy. This is where I'm going with
So
this.
for you, when I say the new era, what it looks like for you is communal,
Um,
taking care of each other.
I don't know. I can't say yes to that. I think that communal is part of the solution as we enter into the challenges of the new era, but I can't decide that alone, right? I think people need to come together to we live in a democratic society, right? So it's not up to me, it's up to the people. And all I can think of is what's my part in this new era of living, and
Okay,
how we
Raquel,
communicate and how we live. Yeah.
I'm wondering what like Raquel and Wendy's thoughts are. I mean, there's no wrong answer, right? I'm just wondering what your thoughts are on this. Either one of you. Oh, Wendy, I love that your lips are moving, but there's no sound. We're not telepathic yet across the board, so maybe unmute.
See, I'm just making up like words and stuff.
I love it.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and it's at this one moment in time too, right? So I think that I just really appreciate the conversation because like, oh, okay, I wonder what I think about this instead of
Right.
viewing like the available opinions of all with like a smattering of facts. So at this moment, I was born for this era. I was born for this moment, for this time, for this right now. I'm
Yeah, you were.
in. And so I feel like there's like the opportunity is here to decide and choose, even if like even in a state like let's drill it way down to, oh, what I wonder what I think about this. What do I choose? Am I choosing isolation? How am I choosing that? If I'm surrounded by people, like you can be married and in the loneliest season of your life. Ow. So there's a choice to stay and there's also a choice to go. And circumstances are 100% everywhere. So like, okay, then how I'm going to break it down even more. How am I choosing to care for myself, care for my community? Like you've got to come first. And this is not what we've been taught. So if I've tried everything else and it comes back to I'm still depleted, perhaps it's time to choose yourself first.
Right.
Like perhaps, like what can that look like for 5 minutes? Because we are loaded and encoded with a lot of conflicting education already. So unwinding, uncovering, unconditioning, like, okay, what would that look like for 5 minutes? Because the overwhelm is certainly available and a distraction. So that's not getting us anywhere. One of the things that I'm completely down a rabbit hole about in the best way is marrying food sourcing, food growing aeroponically, like marrying technology with food production.
Mhm.
I live in 720 square feet. This is on the small-ish side in an apartment. It's not the smallest ever, but like when I'm
Right.
looking at systems for food growth for myself and my family and my neighbors, and I'm like considering like, oh, what would it be like to act more locally in order to
Right.
derive benefit more globally? Am I handling it all? I am not. Am I
Right.
handling myself? I am. So, how do we marry technology plus needed resources? Coco Kali, I loved it when you just started talking. Because this is like, oh, okay, in 720 square feet, um, a 3 by 3 foot space is pretty important. Like,
Yeah.
I didn't know. I had this conversation yesterday with my partner. And we were talking about like, okay, what would that be? What would that look like? Where would this thing go if we were going to attempt it and let it be low stakes? Like, let it be entertainment, let it be self-care, let it be an experiment, let it not mean anything other than let's try it out. And I
Yeah.
didn't know that when we were taping it out on the floor, that I'd be willing to get rid of our couch.
Oh, all right.
I was like, oh, well, that's new information for me
Right.
as well.
Right.
Like she was completely shocked, but I was also there's a space to surprise myself. And what that does is that expands for more new experience. So like, okay, this is also an era of detaching from the completely hypnotic focus on the problems and
Right.
going into
Yes.
solution.
Yeah.
Yes, Queen. Yes.
So is it easy? No. Is it simple? Relatively, but not easy. So that's where I'm at. Raquel, how about you?
This is so fascinating. I don't even know which way to go. I'm just
Is it too early for so deep?
I'm so happy to be here. What comes to my mind is I am the era of the Jetsons or Star Trek. And I can't believe that as a child, for me, that was so amazing. And I think that's happening now.
Yeah.
Cars are driving by itself. You have airplanes everywhere. I talk to my mom in a matter of second. So I don't know. I think I chose to be here in this era, and just time for my daughter to go to school.
Oh, I love that.
Sorry.
The mom yell,
Yes.
hey.
Yeah, go to school. Yeah. I think it is fascinating. I am so excited about we are able to do that things that I could and I am scared how fast things are going and things are happening and I don't know where they are going, but I'm so curious to know where it is going. But I think everybody in their era they thought like it was, oh, that's so good, that the industrial area. So now we have the computer, but now we have the AI. So I'm going to enjoy this era. So and but I as I'm listening to all you, what came to my mind too is that some core things don't change. That is also the cause and effect. So Coco Kali was talking about now we don't have this, we don't have the disease, but I think we do have the diseases, different diseases, right? So many these rare diseases that we heard like, and now one and another person has this and so many different cancers, so caused for all of these way we are choosing to live or to survive, and we need our food. That is so much toxicity in our
Yeah.
food and everything. So I think I like the freedom that I have. I can isolate myself. So this is my room, meditation room, and I said nobody comes here, so I isolate myself inside my house when I want. I like the freedom and the independence that I have. So I value all those things. And for me, I think when I think the divider that shifted us was COVID, shook the world, and the world like turned like upside down. Like it is an incredible shift that it happened, and I don't know where we are going. I'm not scared, so I'm just waiting to see what happens. And I think spiritually, I like how people are more awake, able of talking. They can tap into things, and because of technology we are able to see that these NDEs and experiences, and people share. So the sharing, the information, the way the information goes around, I think it's very helpful. How people are also tapping into their unconscious, and that they are being able to do more and more things. So I think there are so many things we can go, so many directions we can go with that.
I love everyone's, because I know it's like a very heavy question for like a short period of time to ponder. And I love it. And obviously I spent a lot of time in this space myself, and it makes me sit and think about what, what's this look like in 40 years? And I say that because we're in a situation where there's never a gap, meaning when something goes away, something fills that spot, right? That's how energy works. So you can clear something out, but something has to backfill it, or something has to come in and push it out. And given what's going on, what do you guys think that kind of looks like? And I'll give you a second to think about that while I explain more. To me, we see this transition and this rebirth of humanity and society globally, right? Anything in the physical realm is going through a transformation right now. And you can see the tug and the push and, all of these things moving back and forth. And at the same time, when you're viewing that, my constant thought is, that's great. They're changing that pattern or that, construct. What's backfilling it? And I don't see a lot of backfilling. So, okay, I'm going to eat the cake, but it doesn't mean that I don't need to make another one so that I can eat it again later. And so I constantly look at things when people are like, oh, we're going to change this, we're going to do that, even with themselves. I'm going to change this. You don't change it without having something to fill it, right? When someone tries to create a new habit, right? Like, I'm going to exercise is the one that everyone always talks about because people just don't do it. So, I'm going to start this exercise routine. Well, you have to make room for that. So you have to stop doing something to allow that to come in and fill that space. So you look at it in these different ways, and I'm kind of wondering, like, what is it you're going to do, you can do, and what you kind of see being able, like, you can only control what you can control. What's that look like for you, right? Like, how do you move into that space? How do you think humanity is creating that space or filling that space, and making it so that we are moving into this next era and helping create the cognitions, right? Because we're all at different levels of acceptance, recognition, and processing, and what reality is for each of us. And so there's also an education piece that goes with that to help people adjust. Because I think
isn't that where I'm sorry.
No, you're fine.
No, I mean, but isn't that where we each get to bring our individual, like, our purpose, like what we're here for, our unique collection of knowledge, skills, abilities, experience, and say, this is what I can offer humanity at this time, and make it not just something you do, but make it something you do. Like, be committed to it. Like, it's not, let me not just experiment with being a teacher of this, or a placeholder for this, or holding the space is what I mean by placeholder, one who holds the space for this in community. But let me commit my life to being one who holds the space for this in community. I know for myself, that has to do with spirituality, spiritual development, and personal development. That this is where I hold space for humanity and can be a teacher, a guide, a coach, just a listener. Just, this is where my heart and soul says, I can help humanity ripen into the best of itself through this lens, through this vehicle. And this is not about, okay, let me try to make a business work or experiment with this project. This is what my life is dedicated to. And whatever I touch now from this day forward has to do with fulfilling that mission. And I think if we all took that on to the best of our ability, sometimes it takes some time to figure out what that is for us. But if we all took that on, we're creating these webs, these nets, these pockets of happiness where we're plugging into an ecosystem and helping it to evolve in the best way possible, because we're showing up as our best selves. And that creates space for others to show up as their best selves as well. Who is next? Who's got something to say?
Take it, Raquel. Let's shake it up.
I don't know. Yeah, I really, yeah, I don't know. I think, yeah, that's interesting. The idea of taking a space but not filling the space. So I really don't know where to go. I don't have anything to add to that. It's just lots of thinking, just
Right.
lots of processing, just lots of understanding. I think at the same time, I think maybe this has nothing to do with what we're talking about, but we talk about people evolving cognitively, and but I also see lots of lack of cognitivity. People that stop thinking, their brains, they can think, they can't make simple things. I just can't compare my era to when I was a child. So I think now there are so more acceptance and space for the soul to be, to come and follow its mission, because there was a time in what disabilities, autism, Down syndrome. So they were thrown away in the hospitals, or people wouldn't have them. And now there is this acceptance. That is this souls. They have their mission and they have to be here. So that is this feeling, right? I think
Yeah.
that is this space, and that is this understanding, and that is this a willingness to understand more. So that's what came to my mind when you were talking about all these things, and many things we have to learn with these experiences, and even going back to these diseases and things. Why is that happening? I think we are reflecting. We are cognitively more able, and we have more information. We have to select information, but we need to reflect about everything that's going on. I think that's how we could amplify our capabilities, our thoughts, and try to bring help and solutions for things. That's what came to my mind.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I really admire people who know what their life purpose is, right? Like Coca-Cola, you were talking about that, and Raquel, you're very easy with like reflection is really valuable. And yes, agree. There's a pressure, I feel like, that comes on when we're trying to fix something that we perceive as wrong or a problem. I had a period in my life where drinking was my problem, and I had a over and under eating thing going on. And honestly, I don't know how I did it until later and in hindsight. So, like, life being in session where, like, oh, I feel like I need to scramble, or I need to fix, or I need a different result. And it needs to be immediate because, like, we have so much that's immediate. I think we drill it down to like, okay, what am I doing? What am I available for now at this moment? I can't tell you how many like
Hey, I'm sorry. Please pause and repeat that question. It was so big.
drill
What
it.
am I available for now in this moment? Ooh, thank you. That was brilliant. Please continue.
I might be done.
Mic drop.
And
Mic
that's
drop.
how
I
she
mean,
fills the space.
right. Look, Wendy, what you're saying is so powerful, because so often we're reacting to external factors, and we're thinking, I have to be this, I have to do this. This requires this of me, and that's what I need to live up to. Instead of being that lens, that mic, that pin inward, and asking, what am I able to do in this moment? What am I available for in this moment? What do I desire in this moment? Like, that's all that we're required to be, do, give, have. That's it.
Let's set the bar a lot lower so we can be here.
Yeah. And be here healthy and be here happy.
I think
Yeah.
that everything you guys are saying is so true. And the being present and accepting that what you're doing here is being present, having the experience. And to kind of what Wendy was saying, it's not easy. I mean, it's simple, but it's not easy. And that's the human experience, right? and having these kinds of conversations where you're really like reflecting and thinking about it. That's the human experience, and being able to go, okay, like I can lead this, or I can fill in here, or I can receive. And there's these different areas, and there's no like this is how it is. It's fluid, and it constantly is evolving. And that's really what the whole point of it is like watching humanity elevate into a different consciousness and realm. And how is that unfolding in our society when it's been in a pattern for a very long time? And then we've got our soul DNA, and then our genetic DNA, and then we have like all these other experiences happening. And with these experiences, you choose how to behave and engage and interact with it. And one of the things that I am advocating is, as we feel and experience, we ask ourselves these questions. What's my role here? Is there a role here? How do I feel about this? Because those types of questions about where are we now? Where are we going? What's this look like? What's excuse me, what's my role in it? Because everyone has a role. That's
Right.
You don't get out of it. So how does this work and sit and seed with you and grow into this next era? And I think that that's the responsibility we have right now, that we need to pause and we need to ask these questions and we need to think about it, because it is the most exciting time in many, many years that we are going to have, and we have an opportunity to design a new world that's going to leave a print that others can follow. And we can do that with whatever we decide to make out of it. I'm not going to put any seeds there. It's just open. So I thank everybody.
Oh.
Thank you guys so much for your feedback and your thoughts. And I think that for our audience, what's that look like for you? What does this bring up? Where does it sit with you? How do you feel about it? What are some thoughts? What divine is being dropped into you based off listening to this? Like, share with us how this is for you. We're really interested to hear about it. Thank you,
Word.
everyone.